Hi, so today's video will be on setbacks or problems new artists face. Now what I mean by new artists are those of you who have just begun their journey as an artist or very new to the career path as artists. There are similar topics called artist problems, but I feel they deal more with tips and techniques of the creative process. And this is something to do with all those setbacks that prevent you from becoming a more productive artist. So, number one, doubting yourself. Being an artist or becoming a successful one is something that you choose to do as your interest, as your passion. So it is highly likely that you are the only one who believes in yourself. So doubting yourself is something that we often do as artists, and we do it in every stage or new problem or obstacle that we face during our journey as an artist or in the artistic process itself. So something that you need to do is to really assess yourself as to whether you have the skills to be an artist or not. Now the question comes as to how do you know that you are, a wonderful artist, or you could be one wonderful and successful artist in the future? How do you assess that? Because when people around you keep telling you that you're making a mistake, it's a really stupid decision to make, or you're being silly or childish, how do you assess that? Are you really sure about what you are going to do? Now, take for the case of different personalities, different famous people. For example, Walt Disney was fired by his editor because they felt that he lacked imagination or good ideas. Oprah Winfrey, she's my favorite. She was fired from her television job because they thought that she wasn't fit to be an anchor, or she was too emotionally invested in her stories. So many other examples. Steven Spielberg, J.K. Rowling, and so on. So look at these examples. These are people of position, people of knowledge, people of experience and expertise who have put down these people I have quoted. How did they assess themselves? Now, something that we can usually do is, number one, do you really love what you do? Does it make you happy? Do you always think about it, that you can't stop talking about it, or working on your next project related to it? Do you really love it? I want to use the word passion, but it's such an overused word. I would rather use love. Do you really love to do it? Number two, do you have the urge to grow and to learn new things? Because one of the things of being an artist is you need to know where you stand, and you need to know where you need to reach or where you want to go. And so it is important to recognize and accept criticisms and use it to improve yourself. At the same time, you need to be able to learn new techniques and new skills, because when you want to do something that you love, you may not necessarily be really good at it, but you can always build it up. So that's the fun part, and that's also the challenging part. Are you ready to learn something new? And the third thing that you would have to think about is, do you think that you have the basic skill set? Now, this is something which you need to do it unbiased to yourself. You need to be really impartial, because when you tend to love something that you do, you tend to be a little more inclined to yourself, to your own feelings, but you need to be really you have to really decide without being biased to yourself. I hope you get it. Yeah. So some of the things, okay, let me quote an example. For example, you love to sing. Okay, this is a very random example. You love to sing, and you have a voice that you can't train whatsoever, then you can't be a singer. As simple as that. So you need to assess whether you have the basic skills. Some of the things that you can do is to analyze the skills that you have and compare it or check it out with people who you aspire to be. Maybe see where they began their journey. If it's an artist, maybe you love a really famous artist or YouTuber, and you want to check where did they begin their journey from. So that might give you an idea on, where they started, and maybe it's something that you are at and you can pursue it. So it can give you a motivation on one hand, and at the same time it can also teach you what is the little extra 10% or the little extra mile that you need to go to put your mark into the place you want to be. It all comes to the question as to whether you can build upon it. That's something that you need to really think about. Of course, you can be an artist or you can do art as a hobby, and it need not be professional quality, but that's something which a lot of us love to do. People love to sing, people love to dance, people love to speak. They like to do a lot of things, and that's something that we can do even if we are not good at. So our question is whether we can pursue it as a career. So that's something to know about. So stop doubting yourself and just start. Number 2, internet. It can be your friend, but it can be a foe as well. For example, all these points have been made from my own personal experiences, and I kind of tell these points to myself time and time again so that I don't go into this vicious loop of failure all the time. This is something which we all deal with on an everyday basis, and we need to accept that. Just saying that no, I don't have a problem is a problem. So internet, as a new artist, especially when you are YouTubing as an artist, you have so many YouTubing artists that you aspire to be, or who teach you new techniques, or who do the kind of art or the style of art that you aspire to be. The problem is you end up subscribing to all of them, and they are such awesome YouTubers or awesome artists. They make content on a regular basis, and their content is awesome, and they could be 8 minutes long or maybe 40 minutes long, and you are so fascinated by it. You end up watching videos of 10 different YouTubers or artists that you aspire to be, and you end up creating no content for yourself. Now, that's not very good for you, right? The trick to that is try to see the kind of people you want to be, you subscribe to, or you're really interested in listening to, the kind of content they make. And one trick is to just choose the best 2 or 3 so that you can stick with it, see their videos, benefit from it, and use it in your own content. In the sense, you always look up to other people just to learn more, and if you have to actually use it, you have to actually use it. Just by listening to it, you might not benefit from it. So just subscribe to 2 or 3, maybe one person who does excellent marketing, another person who's an excellent artist, the kind of artist you want to be, and maybe the third one is somebody who loves doing a lot of humor during their videos, and that's something that you love watching, or maybe it uplifts your mood, or you have some ideas that you could use or you get inspired from. So you have to be really choosy and selective in the kind of people or the content or the videos that you would like to watch or subscribe to. This applies again with the courses that you take. I've heard from a lot of artists who subscribe or who take up a lot of art courses, and they end up wasting so much of their money. So be very choosy in that, or you're wasting a lot of time. It's like you watch other people become successful and you are where you are, that you haven't actually progressed at all. So that's something which I always tell myself, That's the internet. And another point is something so important, is hoarding art supplies. It's very daunting as a new artist because you see so many people you aspire to be, and they have all the quality art supplies. They have the best art space, they have the best canvas, the best paints. That's very intimidating, in the sense you're kind of you feel bad for yourself that you don't have all that. You don't have to feel bad. The thing is, when you hoard art supplies, this is the tendency where you buy all the art supplies that you think that you would possibly use, or you love the way it looks or the way it feels, and you just buy them. The problem is, you might be buying stuff that you may not use. You might be buying, let's say you buy oil paints and you end up using them, and you realize that this isn't for me, you know, this medium is not me, and then you end up buying stuff that you don't need or you may not be comfortable with in the future. So some things that you can do is to first do your research, do your research, find the kind of mediums that you think you will enjoy or that you think you can use at your convenience, and buy a good one of it. Buy quality supplies, which means you don't buy 15 different brushes just because your favorite artist has 15 different brushes. You buy the basic brush set, buy the basic color palette for your favorite medium. So choose one medium, acrylic or oils. Okay, if you have a lot of money, fine, that's a different story, but still it kind of takes your focus away from the medium that you can actually work on. So the best thing is to use your resources efficiently and buy quality supplies. This will not only help you learn your medium faster, at the same time it will also save you some money, and next time you can buy some really good stuff with the money that's left. So that's about hoarding art supplies. And the fourth one, which is the hardest one, is not being consistent. Now, new artists are not consistent because they lack motivation. Now, the lack of motivation can be of various factors. It could be because you don't have your perfect art space. It could be because you have a busy lifestyle, you have a full-time job, or maybe you have kids. So there are so many different factors. The thing that you need to always remind yourself is that do with what you have. Start with what you have. You don't have to start big. You can always start small. For example, I didn't have my own art space before. I had a small dining table, or maybe the study table that my husband used, and so I kind of used it in the beginning. So I worked with what I have, and now you can slowly build on it. For example, we found ways to rearrange our furniture and stuff so that I could get one room, a little small room to myself. So you can work on it. The problem is, when you don't start with what you have, you will never end up starting. So just do it. You don't have to have the best camera, you don't have to have the best lighting, just do it consistently. And this is something that I'm guilty of to a little extent. I was busy for the past few weeks, the past month, and so on, but that's not an excuse. I could have made something on a weekly basis, but that's me working on myself. So that's quite important, being consistent, and just make a little bit of everything. It could be once a month. That's the max you can actually go, but the regular YouTube standard is to upload videos once a week, which is hard. Yeah, we can work together on it. So that was the fourth point. And the thing about being consistent, or maybe telling yourself that this is one particular idea or one particular day that I would be doing a video, is you're kind of trying to put it into the lifestyle that you currently have. So it's kind of tricking your brain to making it a habit. At the same time, it tickles your brain to come up with new ideas that are more creative, and so it helps you making new videos as well. More creativity and more creative videos. So that's something else. So those are the 4 points that I had with me to share with you, and I hope it has benefited you in some way. I wish I had this a few months back. I wouldn't have waited this long, and I don't think you should too. Just do what you can, start from where you have and with what you have. And I would like to, if you are like me on your own art journey, I would love to hear what you do to prevent the setbacks of, that stop you from being a more productive, efficient, and creative artist. And so I hope this video helped you. Before we stop, we do have a collaboration update. If you're already following me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, you must have seen the final output or the final look of the collaboration project. And if you haven't seen it, you can see it at the end of this video. And regarding this project, I am so happy and thrilled and grateful. This project has been an amazing experience. It was such a beautiful collaborative learning experience. I loved it, and there's so much I have learned, both professionally and personally, because I got to see these wonderful people who have been doing what they love with all the commitments and responsibilities that they have, and that's very inspiring for me, and I look up to them. Thank you very much to all of you who worked with me and who supported me and who just made it all the more better. I will leave all of their social media links in the description box below. Please do check them out. They have so much to share. I love their artworks. They are all specialized in different mediums. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, see you later. Bye bye.